where we are. But I think the first thing to say is that the demonetization process proceeded very well, very well. I think we can say we used the Eliud Kipchoge principle. I think you all know Eliud Kipchoge, and his approach when he has spoken to us is plan and prepare. Plan and prepare, that is everything. So we took that and had planned and prepared, and then deployed. As I said, we took tactical measures as we got different information. And success then, if it comes, it comes. So I think the idea here is not to focus on the success, but to focus on the planning and preparation. And with that, I think I can only say that we did well. And we are happy with we are also happy with the outcome. And as you know, the process closed on September 30th. So we can say the demonetization process, the withdrawal process has ended. And I'll now give you some specific indications as to where we are. So first, just to give you some background numbers, the exchanges that we saw, and this is now using all the transactions say to Monday, of the transactions in 0 to, or let's say less than 500,000 Kenya shillings. In value terms, so now let's talk value. By the way, there will be a press release after this sometime today, which will, just to be sure that we don't get mixed up in the numbers. Numbers are important to all of us, but anyway, but you can quote these numbers as you see fit. So in terms of values, so transactions that were less than 500K, in terms of values, there were 62%. So 62% of the transactions were less than 500,000. 79% of the transactions in value terms were less than 1 million. And if you even push the number, the level higher to 2 million, 92% of the transactions in value terms were less than 2 million. Now, in terms of numbers, if you think of how many transactions we did during this whole process, 96% of them were less than 500. So there are many, very many small transactions, 500,000 that is. And if you go to 1 million, it is, or let's just say 99% of the transactions were less than 1 million. Now, last week, or last time we were here, when I gave some of these numbers, somebody asked me, what do we mean by this? And I think there are two sort of points I would make. First is that just accepting that the transactions are small. So those people that had that we expected to bring huge transactions and all that, most of us have very small amounts of cash in that sense, most of us. So the other element here is that the risk-based cutoffs that we had, if you remember, we had said that until 1 million, you can go to any bank. Until between 1 and 5, you can go to your own bank. And above 5, you can go to the central bank. Those sort of cutoffs, remember, those are risk-based. So this actually validates, or should we say, it confirms that those risk-based cutoffs were appropriate, meaning they were not excessive. Now, most people were well under the cutoff of 1 million in terms of just going to any bank and making their transactions. So that's a good set of things there. Then, obviously, during all this process, I talked about the AML CFT measures have been fully deployed. I talked about that. By the way, I don't know if I said this, I think I didn't. I should have underscored that it wasn't just the banks. It was the banks, it was the the forex bureaus, it was the microfinance institutions, MRPs, PSPs, all of them. Yes, I did mention that. So it wasn't just banks that were following the enhanced measures in terms of checks that were in place. And one of these obviously is the suspicious transactions, right? So how many suspicious transactions were filed or were flagged? How many transactions were flagged? And during this period, June to September, 3,172 suspicious transactions were flagged. Now, that is a large number, 3,000, meaning the investigators need to follow this and try and connect the dots. But in this day and age, with computing, with AI, with other techniques, and obviously with very energetic staff, you can deal with this within some period of time. So it doesn't mean overnight, but it means that in a particular, an appropriate length, these matters can be dealt with. Now, I also wanted to give you the number of transactions that took place in the country during that period, but it runs into the billions, I'm sure. Wallace, thank you very much.